So speaking of vetting and thinking about your friendships, do you guys tend to ignore red flags in your friendships or like things about a person that could possibly be I don't want to say dangerous, but things about that
This is a
person
great
that you
question.
could
That is a good
see
question.
Nah, that's
being
fire. That's
a
fire.
danger to you as like time goes on?
You talking about just like within my friendships?
Yeah, like how do you as a person vet your friend? Because you know, over time people change and sometimes your friendships don't line up. So are you a person that wants to fight because the friendship has a lengthy amount of time? Or are you a person that's like, that's a red flag in that person that could put me in a dangerous situation?
But I'll say my approach to it has changed over times. Where, like back in the day, I used to kind of avoid, red flags. If it was, I wouldn't hang out with certain people because, oh, I see you acting like this
Within friendships.
within friendships and stuff. But now as I got older, there's certain friends that I've had that, we've had that loyalty and stuff. And so I try to approach them head on now. Like if I see something, I'm going to say something. I'm going to try to call it out. I'm going to try to love, I try to love the homies through the shit. We going to figure out, where you fucking up, how you messing up. We going to try to make it work. So I don't try to write people off anymore, or because the people I hang at, my friends now, we've been locked in for a while for the most part. So if I see a red flag, I can't just avoid it anymore. I gotta say something. I gotta try to check it. Try to say something to do it. Then if it becomes a problem, if it becomes something where it's gonna compromise my safety, my integrity, what I got going on in my life, I then have to step away from it. But I at least try to say something first. Uh, you got to like I'm just thinking about my friends now, and if I seen something, we friends because I've been willing to say stuff and do stuff. So I can't let nothing slide if I see a red flag from one of the homies. So
Yeah, and I think that's dope too. Like your answer was pretty much like it's very similar. And the question is good. Even the portion of where you were saying like over time, like does time pretty much overshadow, or is that time more important than these characteristics that are changing in this person? And I would say that like I agree with how Newton looks at it, but I will say as well is it's not always the easiest to check or to say something. But generally, I mean, and my homies, like the people that I talk to like every day, it's a couple of them that I talk to like every day. They all know that you know what I mean? That's just part of my character. And I would want people that are around me, that are close to me, to call me out too.
got to.
I really, because the thing is that you never really know what people think of you. People don't tell you what they think of you. People just allow you to be, you know what I mean? They'll just be in your fucking space, and you'll never know what they think. So like I always was the type person like I wish I could just be around when like Quentin and Todd just talking when I come up, like what is their actual opinion away from me being, you know what I mean? I've always been the type person to
Yeah,
wonder
it's not
those type
necessarily
of
your
things.
business neither though.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying this.
No,
the
but what are you
idea
talking
of
about?
being
Like
able to-
your general perspective on me when, like, you don't have to make amends for me being there.
Yeah,
Like just how you feel, like
Right.
what the
Fly on
room
the
says
wall.
about you when you walk away.
Yeah,
What
just
your
that
name,
idea.
what your name actually holds.
Yeah, like being a fly on the wall. Like, you know how people always said, I'd love to be a fly on the wall just to hear it. And that, like, I've always thought of that. So, like, and that's one of the things that kind of made me start, like, really reflecting. Because it's crazy because I always used to say, like, I ain't care what people think about me. And the thing is that, no, I do care. Because I do care about how I come off to people. Because I know what my heart is, and I want people to know exactly what my heart is. You know what I mean? Where it is, and you know how I really am, or how I really feel about things. So, yeah, like. But as far as like my friendships, like you say, my friend, I've been having these same homies
another
for
great segment.
extended periods of time, and you know what I mean. Some dudes, some of the homies that they don't necessarily always align with a certain type of how would I say. Yeah, like you know, it's just certain things that not all of us check every box. But the thing is that time does sometimes over, you know, that time does like I can't know why I can't think of the word I want to use.
Overshadow?
Not overshadow that, but that's the same.
Well, compensate.
It we'll just say overshadow. It does overshadow. You know what I mean? Because you at the end of the day, you know that this is just a period of time. You know what I mean? And we can. Hopefully, I can assist in getting you from this place to that place. You know what I mean? And just to, I think that like, yeah, you end up sticking it out, and sometimes some things are too much. You know what I mean? Some things can be too much, and then at the same time, you just make sure that you say it. You know what I mean? Make sure that you say it because that is very necessary. We all want to see ourselves, and you know what I mean. And we want because that's the only way a relationship is going to be beneficial and work.
That's why you gotta have real ass friends though too. You gotta have friends that's gonna say how they feel. Well, you gotta have spaces where people ain't afraid to speak their mind. You know, because I've been with friend groups where it's one way when everybody together. Then when you leave, it's a lot of animosity or I don't like this about I don't like that. But we real people say that shit while I'm here.
Yeah,
And let's talk it out. Let's work it out. And
That's a fact.
and so that's the type of people I try to surround myself with, where it's always open minded shit. So where even if it is a red flag or issue, it can be approached in the right way, and it don't have to be. You don't have to wait till I'm not there, because that ain't gonna do me no good.
exactly.
You know, it ain't never gonna. If I got a problem and you not cool enough to tell me, but you gonna wait till I leave and then talk about it with him, how are you any benefit to me?
Gotcha. I think it's two things. Right now, this also kind of gave me, and I'm gonna answer the question: red flags within friends, and how do you deal with it? But this also gave me a thought. Maybe y'all want to do it, maybe y'all don't. But I think that in the sense of you brought up the vulnerable. What you call that, Bo?
Vulnerable.
The vulnerable.
The vulnerable.
The vulnerable.
And where we're at in the space in which, even within this pod, we're building friendship, we're building camaraderie, we're building the structure, infrastructure. In the words of Johnny, what might be a good experiment right now would be if we went and said a positive and negative that we feel of each other, and like it gives credence to this exact same conversation, in which you know what I mean, like what do they call it, like the safe zones, the different shit like that, to where like we don't have to be burdened with like the idea of like what does somebody think of me, or what do or don't you, what praise or apprehension you might have. Right, I don't know. This up to y'all. I thought as y'all was saying, I was like, "Man, this would be something.
No,
at least
cool.
a cool little experiment
You can start.
to kind of throw." Oh no, I ain't got a problem with it. That's cool. But I want to answer the question first. So I guess one, answering the question, red flags with friends. I think that obviously I'm Quintel, so it's going to be nuanced. I do think that it's a nuance when it comes down to age and then action. So I think that there's friends in which you have to move yourself from younger and then you can come back around older. Because at one point in time, they might have been wilding and doing things that are not, that are detrimental to them and the people around them. But as they mature, the character and the person that they are, you end up like you still fuck with. So that becomes an important part. There's people that evolve as they get older to turn into a different person, in which who they are and their ego and their actions might be something that you have to step away from because they're evolving into a different version of themselves,
Sometimes
in which
the
it might
journeys
not
don't
be
line up.
compatible. Say it again.
Sometimes your journeys don't line up. You might be at
Right.
one point, you
And
might
I
be
think
at another
that
point.
that's something that's good to notice, in which like if somebody is starting to evolve into a space where y'all principles do not line up anymore, I think that is a conversation. And then if that's like the journey that they're on, sometimes you got to kind of tap out and kind of look at that and love them from a distance. So I do think that would be, I don't know, I think that I kind of explained it. I think that would be my perspective on it, all in all. So yeah, all right, so you said me go first on the good thing, bad thing. And this kind of came from maybe it was Jeremy that was talking. And I guess so. I'll start with Jeremy. Let me think. My bad.
I'll let you just get.
They being vulnerable right now. This is
That's what it is. Right.
So Jerem, let me think. So Jerem, Rail, what I say? So a positive. I think that the positives of Jeremy that I can rattle off the top of my head that I feel would be he's malleable. So like he's receptive to new information, and he's like he's not what would be the word? He's not
Stubborn?
so stubborn. There we go. So stubborn on an opinion to where he can't grow. And I think that's one of those traits that I look for in general with people. And I think that he embodies it, and he's kind of like very like he embraces that part. I think that that's a really, really good part. I think that he is generally open about like where he's at and his perspective, and I think that that in itself encourages other people around him to also. And I imagine that that's, you know what I mean? Like he has a good friend group in which are vulnerable with him because of the transparency. And transparency in itself kind of like breeds good relationships, I would say.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, I'll say those two. Let me see, a negative.
I was about to say, let's go ahead and get them out the way. Let's go ahead and get into the shits.
Negative. I don't know. This would probably be a little bit harder. I'm gonna go to Johnny. I got to sit and kind of like letting my
negatives for me.
Well, I don't know because to be honest, it's not a premeditated conversation.
Real overthink. Real overthink like a mug. If we want to put out something, but then it's like it's still one of the things that's like it can be a good thing.
I'm about to say, but see, I don't
times.
specifically look at that. Like I don't look at introspection and overthinking as a necessary negative thing. So it'd be hard for me to place it inside that category.
That's something that I'm trying to dang on find balance in that shit myself.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. What Tone Sir A. Dot just said.
Okay. Wait, it ain't your turn, bro. You're going down the line. It ain't your turn. You get the rattle yours off.
Okay, all right, I'll chill. Well, let me finish this though. Part of
go ahead. I know that nigga Quint be talking and cutting niggas off. Go ahead.
What I was thinking is like, even with everybody here, it's just the negative be the positive too, or it'd be a double-edged sword.
I can see that.
The shit that you like about a person sometimes also be like the thing that may need to be honed in on.
Yeah.
Or may need to work on. I'll say for real, I like real because he's a positive is you're vulnerable. You're not afraid to be yourself. You don't back away from who you are ever, no matter what room you're in. Also, the negative or what I'd want to see more from my homie is you put yourself out there more, because I think people really fuck with who you are. And I feel like sometimes you may hold back from actually giving the world who the person I see. I would just like to see you put yourself out there a little more, no matter if it's the art, your thoughts,
That's a great one.
All of that. So that's just
and I appreciate that too, because that's something. And it's crazy that we are actually here and having this conversation. Because so let me just get this off. Let me get this off. So my nigga Quint, bro, and like you got hella positives. You got hella positives. I like the fact that you articulate yourself in a way it makes me want to read more. You know what I mean? To broaden my vocabulary a little bit more. You know what I mean? I like the fact that that you're multifaceted. Like, you know what I mean? I done seen the drums. I've seen you. You're a perfectionist to an extent. You don't half-ass anything that you do, which is a fucking great characteristic. Something that, you know what I mean? That's a great fucking characteristic. I'm hoping to help that rub some more of that over here on me so I can. And one thing, the thing that, the craziest thing that I've learned to love about being around you too is that generally when let's say in most settings, I tend to end up having my voice in the room a bit more, right? But then when I'm around you, and it's almost like what Newton was saying, where it's like something that you cannot like turns into the benefit. It's like I see the benefit in being around you, because at the end of the day, you're gonna make me have to be more upfront. You know what I mean? Your presence inside the room, in order for you to actually command any, you know what I mean, to command in any point, you have to put yourself in the room and you have to be confident. There's no way that you can lack confidence in a room with you and you think that you're gonna really be able to get something off. That's not fucking happening. And so what it does is it makes it so that you have to, you know what I mean? You have to straighten your back up and, you know what I mean, stand on what you say. And then when you say that shit, you going to have to really done put some thought into it. Even though you ain't got time to think, you need to make sure that shit going to make sense when it come out. You know what I mean? Otherwise, we finna go into the debate. And you know what I mean? Really, it's going to happen anyway. The debate coming, but you finna look like a fool
if you don't hold
real quick. If you come with half stepping, so it's like it keeps you on your toes, and you know what I mean, it's something that like can piss you off sometimes. But then it's still like at the end of the day, it's building you, and the fact that you mad about it, the fact that I guess that's just okay, because like the fact that it may get on your nerves, literally is what makes you have to, you know what I mean? It makes me have to like stand stronger and like, you know what I mean? It's definitely.
It's a benefit.
It's a benefit. You know what I mean? You could say it's like the thing that's a negative, but it's not. It's a benefit.
Yeah, just a quick thought here, just even from what you was just saying. A lot of the time when we look at people like in a negative notion or something that we see negative about them, it's usually a reflection of something that we don't like about ourselves in the first place. So that's really what it comes down to. It'd be like, it's not even that I don't necessarily like this about you, it's that I don't like this about myself.
That's it, boy.
That shit crazy. You remember that last photo shoot we did? It's when we was in Noda somewhere about like the beer. But when I posted it, I put the caption. It was like the more I got happy with, the more I got happy with myself, the less I saw flaws in others.
Yeah,
and that's I think it speaks just to that. It's like when you see negatives in people, it's you're seeing a reflection almost in yourself.
I said that in the song.
Probably yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah, because it was in the song. I had.
I forgot
it was on something on the project. Yeah.
But I quoted that shit. I was like, yeah, that shit. I think you said that. Yeah. You said that, and that shit just stuck with me. It was like, damn, the happier, you know, the more I've loved myself, the less I started seeing shit I didn't like in other people. You know, it's just like I started just seeing, you know, positive shit in people, and it's like, damn, I see, like everybody I hang out with, I don't reflect the negative. I reflect, oh, this is what I love in a person. This is what I like. Not, I hate this because it reminds me of some shit I went through. Or I don't like this about a person. You know, if you thinking like that, you gotta just step back and just understand why or where that mindset is coming from. If you're just a negative person or you getting negative vibes from the people you hanging around, you just gotta just step back and understand. But yeah, that was your song. So that was a fire ass bar.
Yeah, but we can't leave my boy Johnny out. Yeah, it's something, bro. I love the fact, and even like when I talk to people, I always be like, "You're a historian" type shit. Like you're a historian. You know a lot about shit. And the thing is to me, it's crazy whereas I notice like people that generally it's not that you're quiet. It's not that you're quiet. What it is that you pick where you want to talk. You pick where you want to actually get your voice in the room versus like a person like me, I'm going to just talk. You know what I mean? And it may be vulnerable. It's going to be vulnerable because I like to, I like that. You know what I mean? I like being open about stuff, but you pick, and it's definitely a smart way to kind of be is that where, you know what I mean? When you speak, it's intentional. When you speak, it's intentional, and you have it's backed by readings and document. You know what I mean? You're not just pulling shit out the air. Like when you talk, there's a level of validity and confirmation that has already happened prior to you providing this. You know what I mean? This perspective. And then there's no negative either. I guess the only thing we be talking about is just making jokes about you, like teetering on damn conversations.
Y'all made that clear.
Yeah, but that ain't even really a negative. That gives us something to really get on you about. You know what I mean? Because there ain't really nothing else to get on you. Ain't nothing to get on you about. That's one thing just to bring up. Just you know what I mean?
No, I appreciate that, man. Nah, for sure.
Me and Johnny can just sit and chop it up about the craziest shit. Like he pulled up on me. What was that, Thursday or something like that? Thursday or Friday? And we just Friday, yeah, it was Friday, and it was just like a random ass 2-hour conversation that he's leaving and we still trying to get words in as he's walking out the door because I got to leave too. About like history and life and perspective and like a part of the earlier conversation was branched off of that. where we just was like going at it back and forth, and you know what I mean, looking up different shit. So I think that's definitely one of the things that I really enjoy about Johnny is that he's diverse inside his perspective on a lot of things. Johnny also is strong inside like what his initial opinion is. I think that you could probably take that as a piece of a flaw, but for me, I just look at it as a challenge because I just want to turn your mind a little bit. I want to open you up, and I want to try and find you into a box where I can kind of. Well, look, you're cornered right now. So like to me, I kind of look at it inside that way. Negatives. I could definitely see you growing in the sense of being more open about who you are as a person, because that's usually the thing that we got to nudge at you a little bit more. Where like even I can't remember where it was at, but you was given like things that you want to work on, where it's like not being in the middle, and that kind of stands close enough to that as well, where it's like not being so. I forget how you phrased it,
I said understanding.
Understanding. There it goes. Where typically you, and this could be seen as a good trait, but you try to make amends for everybody around you to make sure everybody is comfortable with your opinion, in which I think that you also have a really good opinion that's good enough to stand on its own, to where it doesn't have to be a middle ground opinion. And like you're like, because again, as Rail said, you're well researched, you know what you're saying, and you're not really speaking out your ass. Like I know people that just speak out their ass. So it's not really that you're speaking out your ass. And so like that'll be like my critique that I'll probably say. When it kind of comes down to it. Yeah, I don't know. What do y'all think about the feedback y'all got?
No, I appreciate it.
I was supposed to say I suck at social media too. Oh, that's one. God, I'm about to start having to like YouTube, like get into a doggone a flow within every day, just trying to keep up with a little bit more of how to capitalize on social media.
I mean, it's been changed since we gave
hopped off
of it. Yeah,
yeah, and that's about. It's hard for me to call somebody out on shit because I'd be like, I don't be knowing either.
So I have one more question. As you guys were giving each other like, positive feedback and, constructive criticism, when men decide to not be friends, how does that look? I know for some women it could be extremely catty. It could be like this huge fallout and things like that when it's like two women that are no longer friends. But how does that work on behalf of men?
I don't want to interject. But hey, Johnny, you ain't give me a negative. I want to know what your negative is.
I was just thinking that I ain't get the answer.
Yeah. We're going to get back to you. Because I actually want to hear. I'm interested because I think these are where growth points come in.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I'll start with the positive. Like, well, even for both of y'all, too. Like, I've met you guys through the port and stuff. So I always kind of looked up to both of you guys as far as, like, even like I remember Quint, like, I was whooping Jeff ass on Madden, and he had the soundtrack in the background, and then your song came out, Laid Back Attitude, and the LBA came on. I was like, who the fuck? I was like, who is this? And then he was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And he called your ass.
Yeah, and
I was like,
I remember that.
I was like, damn, that's crazy. And then like we've been cool ever since. So I've always, I've looked up to you as like, and Rail broke it down as far as like what that was like. The songs was fire, like the music was fire, but as I've got to know you, I was like, the reason the shit was so fire is because of the intentionality, the attention to detail, just perfectionism, you could say, but you're very intentional and you never half-assed. Like when you're gonna do something, you're gonna like research it, you're gonna figure out how to do what you want to do. I resonate with that. I feel like that's I feel like that's something I see in myself as far as like when I want to know something, I'm gonna figure it out. So that's like positive, negative. It's probably the same thing. That same attention to detail. I had the same conversation with one of my other. I ain't gonna say, but you know my other homie. But like that attention to detail, sometimes I feel like you can get caught up in the micro and not see the macro as far as like sometimes the bigger picture. But I mean, but having that gift of being attention to detail that comes with it. So I don't necessarily see it as a negative, but it's something just like what I said, you or just with all of us got room to grow, room to expand. But that's all I would say as far as just the negative. And you gotta let me cut you off sometime on the pod.
See, this be my thing. It's one thing. Then I'm a respond.
You gotta let me cut him off.
This what I want y'all. I more so prefer it for y'all to cut me off, bro.
We all know a motherfucker that like when you start talking, and they'll just get louder.
That's me. Yeah, no. I mean, honestly, that's probably been one of the things, and that's why I enjoy the pod. Is because those are like specific critiques that I'm able to get that I try to intentionally do good, and then you'll see some episodes I might do good, some ones I'm gonna revert back and shit like that. But yeah, again, cut me off. This is because I know that. And it's not even like I had to learn through other people's opinion certain things about me, in which, because it's interesting. I know what sometimes I can suffer from is like the imposter syndrome, where I can like most of the things y'all say is the positives is things that I question, right? But so like the attention to detail is always going to be high because to me I always think like, dang, I'm not good at that. I got to get better. I got to get better. So like that's one of the motivating factors to me always progressing, is because I put myself in a space where I always tend to think that I have to get better at something. I'm not good enough at this, so I got to get better at this. Got to get better at this. Got to get better at talking. Got to get better at communicating. Got to get better at music, at pod, whatever it could be. It ends up being like a driving force to me. So like usually I'm nitpicking at everything about me, to where it's like, damn, I need to continue working on that. So, I think that's always like an interesting thing is to hear the positives and the negatives, because sometimes it can reinforce and then sometimes it can put certain things at ease, where it allows you to be like, okay, like
that'd be the bigger thing too. Sometimes, because I appreciate what you said, about, because I pride myself on reading a lot, and so people say, nah, when you talk, I can tell you read. It's like, I bet that's not. It ain't. It's for something. It's showing. It's not just me doing it for granted. It's like when I'm speaking, all them hours are reflecting out, and I appreciate that, man. This is a very healthy space. I think the boys are in.
Yeah, no.
But let's stow back the ties.
The facts.
And get that question again, and then we'll run.
Yeah, no. I was just curious to know how men in friendships. I haven't seen many men like in their friendships. It doesn't have to be any particular reason. I know for women, sometimes it could be like very catty, and sometimes like women expose other women's secrets or dirty laundry and stuff like that. It gets very like messy. So I was just wondering, how does that look for men?
I say for me, like when the times I've ended or friendships, it's quiet.
Exactly.
It ain't gonna be a lot of noise. Now I've had homeboys that I've fought with. We didn't scrap, we didn't scrap, but
still been homies.
But yeah, man, you fight, we probably still gonna be friends.
Yeah.
If we throw hands or we get down to it, we tussle. That's a sign of respect. Like I look at you as a man, and we probably still gonna be friends. It was just a disagreement that just went out of hand, but at the end of the day, it was enough respect there to where we'll be able to get back to that friendship. But if it's like a red flag or a character flaw or something, I can't fuck with it. I ain't finna make a lot of noise, or it's not gonna be. It's just gonna be real quiet. Like that friendship's gonna end, and you might not even know it ended. From the other side, because I'm just gonna bail. I ain't gonna sit up there and talk too much or try to explain. Especially if like I said, I try to call people out. I try to be up front. So if it gets to the point where I feel like we can't be friends no more, it's just gonna probably be a real quiet exit. I ain't gonna make it too dramatic. I'm gonna just bow out and just go about my shit. So that's a good question though. I do fuck with that, because it lets you to be introspective and see. Because we all 30 plus, we done been through them roads, and we done all seen that shit multiple times. So it just helps me, just think back and understand certain patterns, and just, helped me grow with myself. So that's shout out to Taj not seen here. Go follow him.
Oh yeah,
on the gram.
Yeah. and I would agree 100% with what Johnny said. Generally, when and the thing is that it's not many times where I've had to do that because it's the world. If I think for guys, I think we have a funny way of like adding friends. I don't know how it is this way, but for some reason, most of the homies are able to come with you throughout. You know what I mean? At least for me, from my experience, like people that actually got in, I let in. For some reason, it's like a subconscious thing that like, and nowadays, I know that no, I ain't gonna. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna fuck with man. Like you okay? You know, you're another black man that's in the area that I have to keep going to, and I keep seeing you, but I know that I'm not gonna deal with you like that. Yeah, I'm not even gonna even try. You know what I mean? But we can. You know what I mean? What up? We still respect, but I know that. Yeah, I ain't even gonna try. But like for some reason, like I found myself to like pretty much all of the homies that I've let in are still homies, like all of them. But if it were a thing where, and it may be times where our relationship may kind of you can feel the distance and see the distance, and we don't talk like that. But at the end of the day, it's still when it comes back like it never left because we don't really. Yeah, we still be on the same page. I don't know. It's like you be subconsciously, even as a child, picking your friends, but you're still looking for these or these mutual understandings and
you're looking for those connections. Yeah, and they don't necessarily have faces.
Yeah, it's crazy though because those connections, they literally like we draw each other to each other, and then it just be the long haul. Like niggas just literally be friends for the next rest of our lives. Like literally got homies from like 14, 13, like. You know what I mean? I've been knowing N since elementary school.
Mm. Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
I don't want to speak on me and your relationship. Like I remember, like when me and you first tapped in, because we knew each other, but when we went to DC,
yeah.
March, we was the only two smokers there. So you remember that we was in the parking.
We locked in.
We was like, I'm gonna roll one up. You gonna roll the next one up. Hey, bro, we've been cool ever since.
Yeah,
because that was. And then I remember we was walking through them gates, bro. And I remember I was telling you, like, man, I got this weed on me, and then like we ain't know that shit was legal.
Right. Niggas was just trying to burn. But that Million Man March trip was literally like that was one for the lifetime right there. That's when I would never forget.
That shit,
bro.
Like I say, bro, like me and you, it's 2022.
Yeah.
Me and you were still right here.
Right.
You know.
I remember when you pulled up on me in the hood.
Yeah,
you just
Pops.
pulled up on me.
With Pops was chopping it up. I need to do that shit more because like that was a good day too.
Oh yeah, you pull up over there, me and Pop being old head. Bro, our conversations, bro. My homie Dave was telling me last night he pulled up on his last night.
Hold on. I just want to. I almost unfollowed Dave this week.
Oh no!
Bro posted a thirst trap. I about unfollowed his ass too.
Yeah,
I about unfollowed his ass too. It's a thirst trap. Hey, Dave.
No.
Oh,
I know you talking about.
no, hold on.
All right, it's not Dave about to follow that nigga. That's Yo.
No, man, we can
Go look at it. Go look.
No, but
I ain't gonna stay on camera with that nigga.
No, you know the fucked up thing that they ain't even supposed to laugh that hard, but that was funny because, but the thing is, but when you got your homies, you can tell when they going through something. And
I get it.
You know what I mean? That right there is just one of those that's not. You know what I mean? It's funny because we all got got the joke, but like.
But that's why I ain't unfollow him. Because that's the homie, and you know what I mean.
Ain't nobody tripping.
But I was like, dog. If I ain't know you like that,
like it's just like there's certain things.
You wilding right.
There are certain things that shildn't be on my timeline.
Yeah, that's the facts. That's the fact.
And the motherfucker, cut that.
Wilding. That's
It's certain things I shouldn't see, bro. There's certain things.
Damn, that's fucked up. Yeah. That happened in real life too, though.
Yeah, my bad. I ain't mean to cut you off from your point. But when you said Dave, it just threw me right to that.
Yeah, man, shout out Dave.
Shout out my brother Dave, bro.
Dave. He been on
my
the show
boy.
too.
Dang, what was I talking about?
I don't know. You said something about Dave and Old Head.
Oh yeah, Dave pulled up last night with me and Old Head. We chop it up. And we chop it up. Well, that's probably about regular. You know what I mean? I probably chop it up with Old Head. Ain't no problem. I chop it up with Old Head every day. But what Dave was saying was like, and I ain't never paid it no attention, but he was saying like the way we have conversations is that like the whole conversation is had like we pretty much nitpick the thing all the way down.
Us three?
I'm talking about me and Old Head when what Dave was saying, and we do it's very similar to what we do too. And then we talk about like that's where I can get somebody that talks about me that digs in. You know what I mean? And then I can still get my perspective of how the reason of me doing this or being this way. But we go through the whole way
understanding
down.
That, like he understand why.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way too. That's why them long friendships are important because you got a homie that known you since you was on the like knee high. Mm-hmm. He gonna understand why, like your whys. Like if there's a thing that you're overcompensating for or something, a homie that known you since I was in second grade, he gonna understand that more than like a homie you just met at the job.
No, for sure.
Last year, so.
And the friend mess around and know you better than you're willing to
know
admit.
Yourself.
Then you willing to realize that then you know yourself.
Yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
Because they'll know how your subconscious mind works. Because like when you react out of, you know what I mean? Not when you're sitting there, when you a premeditated action, when it's off the cuff. They may be able to tell what your off the cuff is about to be. You know what I mean?
Well, if they've been friends long enough, they see certain patterns.
That make sense?
There's certain patterns within your actions.
Right.
Oh, you always react to this way. So
yeah. And you may not pay attention to it.
You might not even see it.
Yeah, exactly.
You might not even see it. But it's that homie that known you since second grade. He be like, bro, I remember in fifth grade, motherfucker said
you did that same shit.
You just did that same shit 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah. Not antecedents and projection. Those be real inside our behaviors and actions where, especially somebody that's known you long enough, you could be like, oh, no, I can see exactly where that came from.
Right, right.
And you be like, nah, that he didn't mean no. You know what I mean? You can
step in for the homie. Be like, nah, I know what he did was crazy. You know, you might not understand it. I know, bro.
Yeah.
I know, bro.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I know, bro. You don't know him. But yeah, let's go to Taj.
I have one more question to wrap this up. Where do you see the trajectory of your friendship going?
Of ours?
Whose friendship?
Yeah.
This friendship?
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna make a lot of money.
Well, no, I'll let you go.
I said we're gonna make some bread, but it ain't gonna matter to us amongst us. Like the way that it ain't gonna matter. Mm-hmm. Like I think that like we're gonna continue to build it. It's gonna be a brotherhood like it really already is, but it's gonna be, you know what I mean, just as good as the blood. You know what I mean? And we're gonna make some bread while building it.
Nah, for sure, that's real. I'm gonna say, hey, shout out my boy Trey G. That's the homie. You gotta pull up, bro. It's be real infrastructure.
Oh, that's
here.
Trey
Not different Trey. They both from Rock Hill, but Trey G, he the old school. He my dog. Both Trey's my dog from Giddy Up, but like he my neighborhood. He big homie. You know, he big homie. But he said something to where he was like, man, I ain't come up there, but they don't mean I don't support y'all. He was like, I see what y'all doing. He was like, I see the potential in it. He was like, I see y'all like the same thing. He's like, I see y'all getting to shit that change y'all lives off this shit. So, and that's my homie, and he be watching this, and seeing the potential in it. And that was one that he was like, I was showing my granddad.
And just think about the fact that you can show this to your granddad.
Depending on the conversation.
Tough,
he was
bro.
thinking, he was telling me, he was like, I showed my granddad. He was like, I'll fuck with y'all. Like he was like, there's a lot of potential there.
That's crazy.
And so for her to ask that after having that conversation with bro about where we see this friendship going, it's like honestly, sometimes when I hang with y'all and the certain shit, like the potential scare me sometimes. Because I be like, damn, I'm doing shit that I never would have saw myself doing 2-3 years ago. I'm putting myself in spaces where I'm a little uncomfortable, but it's just like I see that, and it's just so what you were saying, Todd, this friendship, this brotherhood, this infrastructure we building, I don't think there's no limit to it. I think we could do whatever we want to do with this shit. So
yeah, yeah. I guess how do I say frame it one more time? Make sure.
Where do you see the trajectory of your friendship going?
Trajectory of the friendship. I would say that I see it because I guess to me I actually don't really I don't look at like any piece of like the monetary space of it or whatnot, and not even necessarily like the pod. I just kind of look at like the development of all of us as people, and you know what I mean, like the space and the conversation that we're building from.
Yeah.
So
no, that's facts because the pod is one part of it.
Yeah, that's just a piece of it. Yeah.
We all came from the port, and it's different stuff. So this is just a offshoot of the brotherhood that we done built. This is just one of the symptoms, you know.
Right.
And
It's a symptom of it.
Yeah. So I guess with me, I would probably say, where do I see the trajectory of it? Again, like obviously, like the cliche is like the sky's the limit, but I do say that with all of us being able to completely be our genuine selves, be able to completely have like a shoulder to, you know what I mean, no matter what that shoulder is needed for. A true real not stepping stone, but just a person to be there as you step up in life. I think that across the board, there's no real jealousy, animosity, anything like that within this group of like your successes, your downfalls, and your failures. And I think that that's a really good infrastructure to have when it comes down to like friendships that's going to be long standing, to where like people that again you don't have to worry about. And matter of fact, I think that I'll throw it to this space. This is a throwback. Me and Rel, we have mad history. This is the conversation that we had when he was coming back from the military or whatnot, and he was speaking about, I think something happened where you had like a decent enough lump sum of money, and you were speaking about how you was worried about some people looking at you differently because of whatever that scenario was or whatnot, and even saying it or speaking about it, and like in talking to me, it was like, well, I really don't care.
Yeah,
and like in general, that's how I am. But those are the friendships that I would want to always have because of like your money and anything like that. Literally does not matter to me. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the building process, the reasoning, the logicking, sitting down and having like really good conversations that I'm able to sit and go to sleep with and like think more and to be introspective. Those are the things that I care for and I love. And I think that with those things, the sky's the limit because we're so transparent with each other that we're able to have any real conversation.
Can I throw an example about this? Go back to the port though, but y'all saw what Quest posted in the group me.
Yeah. Hard, bro.
I don't know if he wanted us to throw him out there like that, but so I ain't gonna say it. But like you saw the response that bro got off his success.
Yeah.
And Quest our dog. When we first started this, it was one of the first calls we made. Hey, what we need to do, and you know he picked.
That's a fact.
He picked up and put us on game, and we actually using
some stuff that he recommended.
Like right now. But when he texted that, when we put it in the group, like it was fire emojis going up. Everybody was like, bro, we fuck with you. It's well deserved. And so like this is an offshoot of that. But even going back to the port, it's like when no jealousy, no animosity. We root for each other. We cheer for each other. Like I want to see my guys reach the highest pinnacles. Like whatever you want to do. Like I want to see my guys be the best at that shit. And you, Rail, Quint, Sir A. Ties, but it go to Quest, Jeff, Keith, T. Free, DT, like
you
all
talking about the port guys.
Well, I'm just all my friends, my nigga Trey G, Quinn, Skit, like all my guys. Like if I consider you a friend or like in this circle, I'm cheering for you. Like I really like legitimately want the best life for you. And like when I see my people get to it, ain't no jealousy, animosity. It's inspiration because I'm like, if I know where you came from and you got to it, I can do it too.
Yeah, and then my thing,
it's possible.
My thing too is that like we gotta start. We probably need to start talking some bread on the juice too. On the pod, we might need to start talking a little bit of bread, like different money movements, how different ideas about how to move bread and stuff like that.
Oh no, I think that's a growth space.
We're not financial advisors though,
Absolutely
but we'll
not.
give you guys a few.
No, but I
ideas.
think like sitting in. I also think that as we embark into like the series that we're going to hop into, I think that's going to be a good one. Even bringing in people that have a little bit of an insight. But I guess at least my part of putting the bow on the conversation, I would say that is we speaking trajectory. I think that for me, I would also still just say I do think that it is important and it's beautiful and amazing to have people that you're able to chase dreams with. And to me, like I said, I don't really embark in any of this looking at like a monetary end goal, but a happiness end goal, and like being able to set up like where we just able to be creative and be free and chase dreams. Because to me, like that's really
amount on it that we're gonna, but just the freedom that it could create.
Right. And I guess
ain't about paper; it's about position.
Right. And
the teamwork make the dream work.
Yes, sir.
So like niggas coming together and shit. You gotta have a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and a center.
Mm-hmm.
And
a coach.
Everybody can't be a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have receivers. You gotta have fucking offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers don't talk about the offensive linemen, but that's what make football go.
Yeah.
Like that's what make a team go. Them the big uglies. Yeah. You get the big uglies out there.
Yeah.
They go. That's gonna make your team. How good? So it's all infrastructure done. We gotta all cheer for each other and. Hey man, shout out my school, USC, man. We kicked Tennessee ass last night, man. 63-38.
God, 63.
63. It's basketball score. It was a football game.
That's crazy.
It's a football game.
Yeah.
Put up basketball numbers on their ass.
Yeah.
But it's just they just go to teamwork though, and the thing that inspired me about like the Gamecocks and shit is just they all love each other. It's a culture of love within there, and you see the dividends paying off us to how well they're playing. And it's the same thing with the Port. You saw what we did with the Port. We got the 2B Fair show. Y'all gonna see what we do with this, and then whatever adventures we got next. Because I don't think it's gonna just stop with this. It's gonna be other stuff, but I think just the fraternity, the brotherhood that has been created. That's real infrastructure, So it's like we got a lane where we can support each other. We can do everything. So I think that's very important.
That's a dope name for the financial joint. The dividends.
The dividends.
Dividends. Yeah.
I fuck with it.
The top,
fair dividends.
Yeah, that's hard. That's even better.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Coming soon.
We can't give you all the
fair
on
dividends
camera.
coming soon.
Yes, sir.
I feel like that might have been a positive takeaway. What y'all think?
Oh, damn, that was a positive
I got another positive takeaway. I don't know if we're gonna get into it yet. It's some sad news, but it's actually she did well. It's my homie Ray Singleton from Charleston. He went to Winthrop State, and his wife unfortunately passed from cancer, brain cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
This past the 15th, I think that was Tuesday. They was from Rock Hill, bro was a real ass dude. Roz, real ass woman. They were very inspiring as far as they love. The love and the faith that they displayed on the world. I mean, they was on Ellen Show, American Got Talent.
Oh,
I mean, big time. Like they was out there. Like my boy Ray say, she shook up the world. She was out there. I want to say, well done, Roz. Shout out that boy Ray Singleton. I want to send him some love and just peace and positivity and understanding in this time. Fuck cancer. Fuck cancer. Like for real. But I want to say well done, Roz. Shout out that boy Ray Singleton and really their love story. It's very inspiring. I even told him like, you and your wife inspired me to show my people more love every day. It inspired me to be more loving to my, not just relationships, but friends, family, everybody I'm around. They just inspired me to show more love, more faith in what I believe in, and hope and fight and resilience. So, well done, Roz. Shout out Ray Singleton. That's my positive takeaway, man. Fuck cancer.
Sound good.
Definitely fuck cancer for sure.
For sure. But I'll say like, comment, subscribe below. Follow us on IG at D2B Fair Show. Follow us on Facebook at D2B Fair Show.
Follow us on OnlyFans at not that one.
That's the Johnny.
Oh
P
my
you
bad.
said.
That's the Johnny. Oh my bad.
Hey, I'll hit y'all with the link next week. Hit the notification button at the top. I am your host, Johnny P.
Oh, here real.
It's Q.
And we out.